Ladies and gentlemen, Dana Powell, Allison Royer. Here they are. Let's give them a big warm up. Absolute Worst Podcast!
This is our relationship. Allison's completely inappropriate, and I'm adorable.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Absolute Worst Podcast.
Thank you so much for coming. What?
We have a whole intro that
I know. Okay, sorry. We do this every week, and I just skipped it.
Welcome to the Absolute Worst Podcast. I'm Allison Royer.
And I'm Dana Powell.
Each week in our show, we seek and give free therapy by telling you our problems, asking you to tell us your problems, and then we just pray to God that any of it works out.
We are basically the opposite of Oprah.
It's true.
Yeah, because she does things really great.
Yeah.
We don't.
Not so great.
No.
Do you think that Oprah has more than one bra?
You know what? That's a tricky question. Because I'll tell you, she's got the money for more than one bra.
Right.
But you got to make sure you got something that holds it.
I'm struggling with bras in this moment.
So how come? How come?
Okay, so in case you couldn't tell from my grinding, I'm currently pregnant.
Yay!
I'm 3 months pregnant, and so I have a daughter already, and so this is the second time I've been pregnant, and so for some reason with this pregnancy, I found out I was pregnant, and then my back just immediately got much wider. Like that was my first symptom, and so currently only one of my bras fits me.
That's super weird.
Is it?
I don't understand why the first thing that would happen to your body when you're growing a baby is a wide back.
My back got wider. Like my boobs got bigger.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But through my back.
No, I think
Like
so.
I started to.
Do you think you're producing milk from the back forward?
I don't know. I'm not saying it's reasonable. I'm just saying that it's happening. Like I don't pretend to understand why this is happening. But
I don't
now
like
I only wear one bra.
Yeah, well, buy some more for the pregnancy time.
But then here's the problem when I'm pregnant is I'm like, I'm not gonna buy clothes because I'll never wear them again.
That is not true because before you were only like 3 weeks pregnant and you were like, I think I'm gonna have a third. That's how Allison sounds, right?
I know, but except the problem is once you buy maternity clothes, it sets a standard. And I'm somebody who will continue to wear maternity clothes once they're no longer pregnant.
You will.
And then you'll never be able to lose the weight, so I'm trying not to buy any maternity clothes.
Everything about this is so boring.
Why don't you talk about, okay, now let me just tell you why Dana is losing her mind. So Oprah seems also, because that's sort of like our standard. It's like, I want to be like a helpful, reasonable person. We know that you guys wrote some therapy questions, which we're going to answer, because as everybody knows, I'm like a licensed professional therapist.
That's a complete lie. Please do not sue us. Okay.
So, like, the thing about Oprah is she's, like, really smart and, like, really helpful generally, and probably makes, like, really wise, informed, mature decisions.
Totally.
Dana, you're 40 plus.
Okay.
And you've never...
There's a lot of things I've never done in my life.
There's a lot of things you've never done, but 2 days ago...
I'm not a virgin. Let's clear that.
You have a son.
Yeah, I have a child. Yeah.
So 2 days ago...
I did it once at least.
You decided to get a tattoo.
I did. Wow, everybody's really impressed. Thank you for that. No, I mean, look at me, you guys. It's a little weird. I'm pretty milquetoast, so can I please get an applause? It's a tough crowd.
I know. So they're young.
Yeah.
They're like big deal. I have tattoos all over.
I know, but look at me. I don't. I'm not as cool as you guys.
I have my elbow pierced.
Yeah. I did randomly decide to do it. And also for our listeners, because we're recording this for our podcast, I know some of you know my parents. Please do not speak to them about this.
They can talk to your
They
parents.
can talk to my parents. Just don't rat on me.
So let's see the tattoo, Dana.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
She takes her whole dress off.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a full belly tattoo. And it's just my face. Okay, here you go. I know the people listening can't see
Nobody
it. We'll
can see
post
it.
it on Instagram.
So she got a tattoo of, she said this on the show before, that she wanted a tattoo of her son's name in his handwriting right now. He's 6 years old.
Yeah.
And it's all primary colors. It's very cute.
It's very cute. I'm madly in love with it. And I did say, I'm going to say this for the benefit of the older people listening, which is none of you, clearly.
No, that's not true. We have a lot of old people.
They're not here because us old people don't normally
We
leave
don't go
our
out at
houses.
night. Yeah, our target audience are like
72.
the hoarders. They're
Yeah, hoarders. But I said this has a lot of, our podcast, if you guys are familiar with us, sometimes the shit gets real. So
It does
get
get real
ready.
sometimes.
Get ready. This holds a lot of meaning for me because Dan Tipton and I...
That's her husband.
my
She calls
husband.
me my first and last name. It's just welcome.
Yeah, welcome to Dana. We have decided not to have more children, and we decided this a little bit ago, but somehow in my mind I was like, I might change my mind. We might just make a baby one day, just cause, and I also worry, how many of you have siblings? Yeah. They're the best. I mean, do some of you hate your siblings? Yeah. Oh, somebody does. Okay, good. That makes me feel better about my decisions. Because I love my sisters, probably because they're so much like me. They have my ugly laugh, we have the same sense of humor, like all of that. So I adore them, even though they're batshit crazy. They don't listen to the show. And I'm not giving that to my son. And so I feel somewhat guilty. And then also as a woman, for all you females out there that may decide you want children, when the time comes where you're like, I either have to do it now or the window's slamming shut on my genitals. I guess not my genitals, my ovaries.
I was gonna let it go because you're trying to be like
my ovaries.
It doesn't matter. We get that you don't know how children
Do you guys
are
know
made.
anatomy?
It's fine. Keep
Okay,
going.
on my ovaries.
Your reproductive system.
I'm just not gonna be able to make babies at some point, and I'm not there yet. So don't look at me like I'm dried up already.
Nobody's doing that. No one's doing that.
But like, there's a weird thing that happens as a woman where you go, holy crap! Like, you start thinking about your own mortality. You start thinking about how it's not fair that men's bodies can just shoot out baby matter till they die, and women don't have to worry about it. So anyway, that's why I got my tattoo. Thank you.
I love it. It's a very beautiful thing.
And it really puts Allison and I in a weird position because I'm like, not Eddie's, and she's like, all I am is pregnant.
All I am is
But
pregnant.
it works for us because we don't agree on anything.
On
You'll
anything. That is true.
Yeah.
So we are going to. Oh, first of all, we want to thank a couple people. We want to thank our friend Nick Armstrong for having us. And we are going to pull him up here in a little bit to tell a story anyway, so you guys will get to hear from him. We also want to thank, so one of the things that's amazing about our show is we have a lot of interaction. People email us their questions tonight. You guys wrote them for us. They interact with us on social media. And we actually have an intern. Her name is Sarah. She's literally
always
I've not
on
I
a
don't know what
cruise.
she does. She spends the majority of her time on cruise ships.
And that's not a joke. Check out our social media. She literally posted yesterday a picture of her editing our podcast on the deck of a boat.
It's true.
In the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, it's outrageous. But we have connected with a lot of our listeners, and one of them...
Despite the size of our crowd this evening, we have a lot of fans.
Yeah. And so, one of our listeners reached out to us and said, like, if you guys ever need anything, I live in LA, let me know. And so, shout out to Montez Cook, who's here today.
Sassy Pants McGee.
Ended up being our intern for the night, so she probably came around and helped you guys with your paperwork.
And for our listeners, you guys know Sassy Pants. I accidentally posted a picture of her and her husband on my private Instagram one time, so all 8,000 of my followers were like, who is this?
Yes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, we have spoken with her so many times, but we never met her in person.
So take a picture with her before
No
you
big
leave.
deal, you guys. We're just bringing people to motherfucking gather. Here
Let's
we go.
get this shit started.
Thank you guys. So this is the first. I'm going to just probably keep referring to everything as emails because that's how I generally work. But you guys get that this is just a piece of paper with handwriting on it. Okay. I think of myself as a combo between Allison and Dana. I can't choose.
Unfortunate.
No, that's good.
Oh, right.
It's like if we had a baby. Do you want to?
I just told you I'm done with babies.
Right.
Okay.
I can't choose which one of you I relate to more, and good that I didn't have to choose. I get to see you both. No real question for me, but just a huge thank you for all you are and all you do. You don't know how excited the weekly podcast makes me. Keep being yourselves and keep it up.
I love you.
Thank you, anonymous listeners.
It makes me feel really good because I definitely think that Allison and I, we have strong personalities.
Yeah.
And there's definitely reasons for people not to like us.
Sure.
So when we hear that people like us, it makes us feel good.
Yeah, I've historically said that I'm the kind of person that when you first meet me, you will almost indefinitely not like me.
Right.
But if you are just forced into a situation where you need to spend more time with me just on accident, like maybe we work together or something, you'll start to maybe like me later.
Yeah. Nope, they don't. Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay, I love this. This is a one-sentence question with absolutely no context. So if you listen to our show, you'll know. I'm like, I need details. Like,
Wait a minute, that entire front and back page
No, this
is
is
one
a second
sentence?
question, and then this is, I think, just a story, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know, but so they're numbered. It started with numbering, and then it just trailed off. There's some things that got scratched out. There's an
I'm
arrow.
excited because the only word I've seen so far is sexiness, so I'm ready to go.
Oh.
Get into it.
That's not on this piece. Oh, no.
It's on the back.
Yes, it is. Okay. So this, without any context or anything else, it says, should I go forth and have a baby with a donor?
Wow, that is the heaviest question you could ask with
Right.
the fewest words.
Right. So I think my first things that I'm going to say are a couple questions.
Okay.
Don't
Don't be a monster because this person's here. It's not just you and I.
Should I go forth and have a baby with a donor? Okay. I mean, I was going to say, like, first question, are you a woman? Because that's going to be important, I feel like. That's your first step.
Well, you can be a dude and have babies.
And have a donor? They would donate an egg. Okay,
Well, you
so
can
valid
donate-
question.
They can donate somebody can donate a baby.
That's not what that's called. It's called adoption. I think donor implies you want. I think it implies you want
Sperm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna assume this person's a woman.
Okay.
Then I have some questions. Do you have any money? Do you live in a home?
Oh, Alice.
I just want to know if they live in a where do
You
they
don't
live?
have to have a house to have a baby.
Nope.
Dogs
I mean-
do it in the street.
Is that true?
Dogs have babies in the streets.
I know, but you really don't think that you need to have a
You can
residence
have an
to have a
apartment.
baby?
You can have
Okay,
an apartment. You have a baby
But
in
I'm
an
saying
apartment.
residence.
Okay, but you said a house.
Okay, but that meant like
Why
a
are we
place to
fighting
live.
already?
You're being crazy. You said you just have a baby in the street, which you can't.
Pregnant. You love my laugh.
Okay, that's the first question.
Okay.
Now,
Are you going to answer it first?
well, these are my questions that I have that
Oh,
would
well,
determine
I-
the answer.
Okay.
You're just like, yeah, go for it.
No, I think you would have to think about these things. I think, shout out for something I'm not involved with.
Yeah, and this is a
part of our
guest
show.
on one of our episodes. Her name is Molly Hockey.
Our friend Molly Hockey, who I believe performs here as well too. She has a podcast called Spermcast. You guys might enjoy her show more than you are ours at the moment. Her whole thing is called Spermcast, and she is looking for a donor.
Yeah.
So if you are thinking of that, listen to her podcast because it's just unbelievable what comes up for
Yes.
people in this. Like, she asked them, do you have alcoholism in your family? She looks at their face and wants to know if their eyes will match with her wide set eyes and will they give her baby a smaller chin.
Yeah.
And
It is a really
It's a
amazing
lot.
process. She's
Yeah.
documenting her whole process of. She said that she just turned 40. She decided she's not in a relationship. She thinks she's not even sure that she feels like she wants to be
she
pregnant.
felt
but
like it in the beginning, and then through this research,
Yeah.
she's kind of been like, oh, I'm not sure. And also, dudes, you should listen to it too, because there's a lot of sperm info. Because if you jerk off, and then try to make a baby, your count's gonna be low, dude.
Oh, so you can't
It's a
masturbate.
real big difference.
And
also what you eat.
need fresh
It's not about
jizz.
flavor, it's about potency.
Really?
Yeah.
What can you eat that makes the strongest baby?
Oh, I'm not a dude, but if I was guessing, I'd say like
Spinach.
okay. Somebody watches too many cartoons.
Is that not? Okay. So, but I think that's the truth is like, I think the first question is, you know, I would want to know like, well, why do you want to do that? Is it because you're not in a relationship but you really want to have a baby?
And are you doing it because you feel like you're supposed to have a baby? Because not everybody has to have babies.
That's totally true.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think starting to research what this means, and that's sort of what Molly's doing is like, how much are diapers? And how is this, you know, what's the difference between having a donor and adopting?
And she doesn't want the dude around.
Yeah.
So that's an option too.
Yeah, so I would say to start, number one, honestly, listening to her podcast and getting some of that information to see if this is legitimately what you want to do. I always think
And also, if you do want to do it and you're not super picky, I've learned from her show there's a million guys out there ready to throw their sperm at you.
It's 100%
like they'll
true.
drive to your house and jerk off in a cup and it's warm and you take a turkey baster and do it yourself.
No, but then
That's
there's another
what-
guy that says he does natural insemination, which means
That's
he's
not
fucking babies.
right.
Like that's what happens. He calls it natural insemination, but he literally just comes to your house and fucks.
Stop it!
And then he's just like, fucking good luck, and then he pieces out and he pretends like this is like
And the weirdest part
positive
is,
thing.
he drives a van. How fucking creepy is that?
So weird. But I mean, if that's your thing, we're not here to judge. If that's
No,
your thing,
that's
if you
your
want to be
thing.
fucked by the van guy because you want a van baby, like do motherfucking you. I'm not gonna stop you from living your life.
No,
Because I
listen.
get it. What I'm saying, like if you don't have a lot of money and you need a baby, that motherfucking van guy is your ticket. Right? I'm not saying.
I can't stop pulling on my face.
That's only one question in. Which I think fucking
Welcome
solves
to our
help that
show.
person wherever you are.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Question number 2. This is perfect for Dana.
Okay.
Can older women
You
really...
son of a bitch. Okay.
Can older women really be happy with younger men? Because I do so like them. I don't understand. Of course.
Well,
why do you think that?
I'll tell you why some people think that, because I have in the past been that person that was like, why don't you want to hang out with somebody you don't have anything in common with?
Why do you
They
talk
don't
like that
even know,
sometimes?
because this is who I used to be. They've never even seen the Goonies. They can fuck off. Right?
What's the age difference between you and your husband?
2 years.
Oh, okay. So aggressive. Keep
Oh,
going.
okay. I'm the young one. I'm the baby. I'm the baby. He robbed the cradle. But what I have realized is I'm a real dick for thinking that, because I've met a lot of people recently who are significantly younger than me, and they're smart. And they're like intelligent and have insightfulness, and I enjoy them. You guys, this is not a joke. So I'm not an athlete. I think we can all agree on that just by appearances. Last night, I went to a party.
Go on.
I'm a mother. What? Why would I go to a house party?
Yeah.
I played fucking Nerf shit.
Yeah.
For long enough to sweat.
Okay.
And I got so into it that when I shot a guy I was the last line of defense, I literally, screamed at him, "Not today, motherfucker! Yeah!" Like a man, like a wild animal. I was so into it. And that's why I like young people.
Okay, so I feel like what your journey just was is that you historically just hated the youth, and
Yes,
then
yeah.
yesterday found out that they have
Well,
value.
it wasn't just yesterday, but I have learned they have value.
But this person's question is, I think is from a dating perspective.
You can be happy with that person, but you can't talk about TV or toys with them.
That's not true!
It is! They don't know! Who had a whoopsie here?
Dana.
Probably none of you. I don't see wrinkles.
What's a whoopsie?
It's a doll. Exactly.
Oh, I thought that's when you get pregnant but you don't mean to. That's what historically has been a
A
whoopsie in
whoopsie.
my life.
It's also a doll with pigtails, and they go, whoopsie.
That's not part of a thing for romantic love.
Did you watch the Smurfs?
Let's focus on something more important.
Okay.
You've had one boyfriend your whole life.
That's not true.
Yes, it is! So why?
Fine.
I had person you've ever dated.
I've
difference
had
in age.
3 boyfriends-ish. And then everybody else, I was like, one date, you're out, bud. I mean, I got high standards. I don't have time for your shit, and I see through it.
But I'm just saying, in the realm of people that have dated
A lot.
cornucopia of people.
Allison, if you're saying Dana hasn't slept with anywhere near the people that I have, I think we all know that's
I'm just
true.
saying, this is an area where I have a lot of experience. Do you know what I'm saying?
Some of you don't know. Some of you don't know that Allison did have a relationship with a couple for a while.
That is true. I did date a couple for a period of time.
For cocaine.
No, it wasn't for cocaine.
Allison, they let you live with them while you had sex with them and provided you with cocaine.
But it wasn't just for that reason. You make it sound like we didn't have feelings for each other, which we definitely did.
Good.
Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and
Except
let Dana...
that you left them because you slept with a stranger at a bar.
who's now dead. But he was amazing. I loved him. We had a great relationship. And just because you meet your soulmate at a bar, also dating a couple, and you decide to go with your heart, it doesn't make you a bad person. Am I right?
Well, I'll agree with you on one point.
I mean,
you're not a bad person.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, so I just feel like...
Do you think you could date someone younger than you?
I have dated somebody younger than me. That's my whole point.
How much younger?
10 years?
I mean,
I've dated 10
significant.
years younger and 10 years older. I think it's important to have a range.
Yeah. If something happened to Dan Tipton, let's hope it doesn't, you guys. He's a saint.
Okay.
He's married to me.
Okay.
Then I would definitely go young, and I'd go abroad.
But this is what I think is weird. Like, 30 to 20, too big of a gap. 40 to 30, I think like 50 to 40, 60 to 50, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
so it depends on where the youngness is. Like, if you're 27 and you want to date an 18-year-old, I'm out. No,
Right.
I don't think that's
That's
appropriate.
weird. But also,
you know?
I know you well enough to know that if you dated somebody younger with bad grammar, you would blame it on their youth and you would be hateful to them.
Yeah, but that's right now. So you have to meet people where they are. Do you know what I mean?
So when I'm old, I should go on cruises like Sarah.
yes.
And meet younger old men.
You know, I think it just depends because I've met young people that I really like I've dated younger, and I've dated younger where I'm like, oh, you have no experience in this area.
Your crotch? You know your crotch area?
Well, I mean, sometimes people aren't as experienced because they're younger. And so you're like, this isn't like a fucking tutorial, motherfucker. Like, you gotta kind of like know where
But what
we're
are you?
at.
Are you dating 15-year-olds?
No, but some like 21 and 22-year-olds.
No, come on. They know what they're doing.
They're just getting started.
Unless you get a cute little nerd and you want to
Mine
teach
was
them
kind of
your
nerdy.
way.
He was kind of nerdy.
Then you
and
teach
that's
him.
the attraction, but I don't have time. I gotta move on. So that's like your thing. It's like if you have, it's like
I've got time to teach somebody how to really be good to me.
See? But that's good. Like, that's why for sometimes older and younger works. Like, it's like, do I want a puppy? They're going to be a lot of work. You're going to have to train them, but then there's like some benefits to that. Or do I want a dog that already knows how to pee in the house? You guys get it. I'm just saying, I don't think it's like a hard and fast rule. There's
I think
levels.
you're right. I think that you and I sometimes, because you say, oh, we've heard from the youth, and it seems condescending, and I feel like I have been condescending to the youth in the past, and I'm
In
wrong.
like the
and
last
I'm wrong.
5 minutes.
Sure.
Okay.
But I'm wrong.
Right. Every age has value.
Right.
And there's no limit on who you can love unless it's legitimately illegal, which that's your limit.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't think that... Look at Erica Girardi and that guy.
Who the hell is
Yeah,
that?
Housewives. Does anybody watch Housewives or Houses of Beverly
can't.
Hills? Thank you. So Erica and that guy, he's like really old and she's rich now, so that's fine.
Well, and also, listen, relationships are like dipping sauces. You can try it, and if it doesn't work, move on.
That's so true!
Thank you, Allison. We agree on something.
Thank you. Now, I don't know what this last thing is. I'm just going to read it. I know this one entry's gotten a lot of attention, but I don't know. I'm going to go with my gut. It says,
Okay.
It doesn't seem like a question.
Okay.
This is probably something that we would put in the absolute yours category of our show, which are like your crazy, bananas, weird, unreasonable stories and we just kind of tell them so that we all know that like our lives are
We're
all
not
in
alone.
shambles. Like we're all kind of coming from different walks of life, and it's just something to help us feel better about ourselves on any given day.
Part of the thing about our show, I know a lot of you maybe don't listen to our show, Allison and I are super lucky. We started this from a very selfish place, which I'm sure is surprising since you've gotten to know me a little bit so far. Of just like, we're moms, we don't get to perform as much anymore, and we want a little exposure for our careers. And then what ended up happening was something really amazingly nice.
Yeah.
And we built this huge community of amazing people that write in and help out, like where Oprah, they help us answer questions, and like people have sold everything in their life and moved to Australia and opened dog rescues, and like their lives have been changed. We just had a proposal on the show that was very sweet. So anyway, we're very lucky.
Okay, so this is potentially would go in the absolute yours pile. I once had foreplay that was me making my Chewbacca impression in a man's ear. He said, I have never experienced anything sexier. Stop it. But then he asked for a rain check on having sex.
Oh,
so sad Chewie went home, i.e. me. I went home at 4:45 a.m. and yet I still believe in sci-fi sexiness. So I don't think there's a question there.
It's not a question, but I got one.
You have a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
How did you get to 4:45 in the morning when you still hadn't had sex?
Alcohol, Dana.
What, you were just drinking alcohol? If I'm drinking alcohol, I'm gonna touch you.
Right, but if you're at a bar, they close at 2. You go get nachos. You get in a cab. You're not home till 4.
What are you?
Live your fucking life. You're an old woman. What is happening to you?
I don't want to live like I'm
Dana's
old.
like you're in bed at 8:15, and when you get something delivered, you have sex by 9, and you're done.
You're a crazy person. I'm like, hey bud, let's go in the hallway between the bathrooms and touch each other. That's where I'm at. Why would we have to wait till 4:45?
You tell me. You look me dead in the eyes right now and tell me you've had fucking sex in a public place.
I have.
Where?
I don't want to tell you. It's in my hometown and people will know. I have, Allison.
Did you have sex in a hallway at a bar?
No, it wasn't a hallway at a bar, but I would. Who's open? Dan Tipton's not here tonight.
Sex on the construction site?
Allison!
What? So you had sex in one construction site, now you think you're just having
It's
sex
not
in
the only
hallways?
public place. It's just the only one I want to tell you because then you tell groups of people when we're out. And it wasn't a full-blown construction site where we had to wear hats. It was a building that wasn't finished yet, so the acoustics were lovely.
I'm reading this next question.
Okay, I'm so excited. That's how you sounded to me.
My mother recently found out that my dad had an affair and has decided to divorce him. She keeps trying to drag me into the middle and won't take no for an answer when I say I don't want to talk about it. Also, she is being really vindictive toward him and doesn't understand why her kids don't 100% support her help. That's really hard.
This is a tough one.
That's
this is
really
a shit
hard.
gets real one.
Yeah.
I do think you have to keep your, I know you hate this word.
Switzerland. Oh, boundaries?
Boundaries.
Yeah.
And keep telling your mother, like, this makes me uncomfortable. I love both of you. I understand that what he did is painful.
Yeah, it is really hard.
But as parents, like, you know, even children of divorce, like, you can't talk shit about the other parent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think maybe if you can even break it down and just say, like, Mom, listen, 100% I'm with you. Dad was wrong. Like, I have no doubt, like, I 100% understand that he did something to our family and he needs to be held accountable. At the same time, he's my dad. And, like, while you are trying to figure out what's best for you, I really want to keep both parents. And so I love you. I totally support you needing to talk to other people about this. I'm happy to listen, but I can't choose one parent over. This is already so painful, and I don't also want to have to choose. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's the problem with, we've talked a lot about infidelities on our show, and that's the problem is everybody is affected, you know? And so it's like, this person has already taken my parental units away from me, and that, like, they're no longer together, and so now I'm forced as a child to, or, you know, I guess child, but I don't mean like kid, right, to choose. Now I have to also choose, you know, like, oh, so you decided to go outside the marriage for sex, and so now I have to pick a parent. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's super unfair, and so, you know, to the
I
best.
think you have to be patient with your mom too, because
For
that's
sure.
a lot of trauma
For sure.
to be going through, and maybe understand that it's not. maybe how she would normally behave, but it's coming from a broken heart.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously we all like to believe that as parents we would be selfless and not get our children involved, but especially when they're adults, it's hard not to try to get them to rationalize. And I think maybe that's where that thing of just being like, listen, he was 100% wrong, maybe we'll just appease her, and knowing like, I'm not confused that this is horrendous and that he did this to you.
Maybe do have to say he made instead of 100% wrong, he made what's the word I'm looking for, guys?
Selfish?
He made a choice. Our choices aren't always great, right? But I'm just saying it's not black and white. Like maybe they weren't working out, and not that the way he did it was right.
And that's usually the thing about affairs, unfortunately, is it stems from some level of unhappiness that nobody is communicating.
Right.
And and I think
because I don't want to make him the villain, even though it's like not great.
No.
Also, sometimes couples aren't meant to be together.
Well, and I think that a lot of, I don't even know if that's true, but I mean, I know that it is, but I do think that before having an affair, you can sometimes fix a marriage, and
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, and I think you can fix a marriage after an infidelity as well.
Sure.
And that's even more why you would want to try to be understanding and patient with everybody. I don't know. Is the dad remorseful? Is he just like, fuck you, fuck everyone? It gets really hard when there's young kids and now they're not paying child support and they've started a new family. Then it's like, fuck.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm watching a show right now. Like I'm streaming on
But
Netflix.
that's legit, and I've also known a lot of women who have been cheated on that later find that, whatever their moment was that they needed to have about like, oh fuck, I really, like I was going, whatever, like they find that they had fallen short in that marriage somewhere else.
Right.
And I don't ever think there's an excuse for cheating, but I do think the best we can ever do is try to figure out like what went wrong, how can I fix it, can it be fixed, and how can I move forward?
Okay, great. I like that.
Yeah.
Good job, Allison.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you have this show.
I have a lot of friends that have cheated on their spouses. No,
That is not me.
I'm just kidding.
Just for the record.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Hold on.
Are you getting to another letter from the audience?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
really rushed Allison because we were running behind. I don't know if you guys noticed. She sat here for 20 minutes. And then she was like, you can't rush me. I'm putting the show together.
I know, and so now I'm going rogue. Okay, Here's what this says. My bro got too drunk one time and asked to sleep on my couch. Sure, no problem. I then woke up in the middle of the night to him straddling me in bed over my comforter. Now, I also tend to sleep naked because I overheat, so it really freaked me out when he grabbed the blanket and tried to rip it off. I shouted, Jared, go to bed. He stopped what he was doing, curled into a ball, and fell asleep at the foot of my bed. Oh, and my wife was asleep next to me the entire time. I want to still let him crash on my couch when needed, but I'm scared. What should I do? Well, okay, a couple questions. So, my first question is this a man or a woman? I just assumed it was a woman.
I think it's a man.
You think it's a man?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, just how I'm feeling.
Okay, so then we still think it was sexual?
I don't think it was sexual. I think somebody got drunk and was like, wouldn't it be funny if I straddled my buddy and tried to pull his blankets off with his wife in bed?
You do?
Yeah.
But that's not the vibe I get from this email. Is that the vibe that you get?
It's not an email, but continue. No, I totally think everybody was drunk and they were like, oh God, let's eat Jolly Ranchers and be stupid. And then they punched each other a little too hard before someone passed out. And someone's always going to get naked and straddle somebody. That's life.
Are you saying that from, like, do you know who this is realistically?
I might.
You might.
Know.
Okay. So you assume that there's...
I don't know that particular story. I'm just saying, hey, dude, you see I'm looking at you? Do you have a friend that might do that just for funnies? Easier said no.
I mean, and that's like an important thing, because this person says, I mean, I'm just basing it on what I'm reading, and this is why sometimes written
I think
is
his
hard.
buddy thought it would be funny.
But this says, but I'm scared. It says, I'm scared. What should I do?
So he didn't enjoy it.
It doesn't seem like it. I mean,
I think you talk to your friend and you're like, dude, I know we were having fun.
It's his brother.
No, bro, not brother. This is not. an incestuous
Wait,
story.
is that true?
Yeah, my bro. That's how dudes talk, Allison.
I thought it was his brother.
No. And you tell people I'm old. Jeez.
Okay, so this is just this guy's friend.
Yeah, his bro. Like you're my bra. You're my girl.
I told you I only have one bra.
My bro is Buddy. I think you just have to talk to your friend and be like, it just felt uncomfortable, and my wife didn't appreciate it. Because if I was the wife, I'd be like, this is super weird. I'm really pretty. Why is he not on me?
Now, in this person's defense, now I'm going to say two things. Number one, when I was a teenager,
Which also means horrific alcoholic.
that was going to be my number two.
Okay.
When I was a teenager, I call it the Royer trilogy. And it's just really quickly what happened was one time I woke up and I had a broken leg. And then the next time I woke up and I had got a DUI. And then the third time I accidentally woke up in my parents' bed. I had just lifted the covers from the bottom and just crawled in there and just went to bed. So I had a broken leg as well. So now you have your adult daughter with a cast. Not a great way to wake up. So I definitely get it. Do you know what I mean? Like
How
for
it
me,
happens.
I get how it happens.
Yeah.
But the second thing that I was going to say is I also have raging alcoholism. So I'm sober now. That was a long time ago. I've been sober for like 14 years.
Don't look at me. I don't know.
So, you know, it's possible that this person has a drinking problem. So I'm saying, like, is that totally normal behavior for a raging alcoholic? Yes. That's all I'm saying.
Is it completely out of the range of possibility for friends just wanting to have goof times?
I think that's weird. I think this person might have a substance abuse issue.
I don't know that it's super weird. I would say it's not every week.
Have you ever gotten blackout drunk?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because somebody drugged me at a bar. High five.
Whoa, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, is that right? The
Yeah, no,
only
for
time you
real.
ever blacked out, you think you got drunk?
Only time I blacked out. Dan Tipton said I came home, I walked through the door, I took all my clothes off, I puked in my boobs, and I said, where did I get this hamburger?
Okay, so the answer is no, you've never gotten blackout drunk. You were roofied once, you fucking psycho. Okay, congratulations, because you got away.
I got away, and my friends put me in a taxi cab because they were afraid I'd puke in the Uber.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I was safe. That's the thing, ladies. Stay with your friends.
Yeah.
Because everybody that night saw my underwear for sure. And yes, I did puke at the Hard Rock Hotel into a mesh hat and was asked. But I was safe the entire time because my girlfriends would not leave my side, no matter how many times I showed my underwear.
I'm going to try to read this last question, and then I want to try to tell two stories if I can.
Okay.
Okay, great. Here we go. A couple friends and myself had a night where we played Nerf Wars and got really high beforehand. Sounds a lot like your story, Dana.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I invited a newer friend of mine who's a mother. Sounds also a lot like Dana.
I don't know
And
what
it
you're
doesn't
talking
really
about.
seem like her scene. She came to the party, and when the time for the guns to come out, she was very hesitant. After convincing, she joined up the team. She ended up being the most competitive of us, and by far the most intense.
What a great girl.
It was very refreshing and brought the Nerf Wars to the next level. My fear is now she won't join next time because she was hesitant again with hanging out with us again.
And she might have also thought she behaved inappropriately. I'm just saying.
How would you invite a new friend to a group and show her the age difference is not as big an issue as she thinks it is?
Well, I feel like I don't have an answer for these questions.
I'm going to tell you right now it's inappropriate. I'm going to tell you right
Would
now.
it be inappropriate if she brought wine in cans?
Yes, that would make it worse.
Oh, well.
Do you think you're having a midlife crisis?
No, my
I think
child was
totally-
asleep. If this were me,
Okay.
that woman's child was asleep with his daddy, and it was a Friday night, and it's like, I'm still a person. I can still go out and do things.
Okay, because it seems like that particular day, you, number one, got a tattoo for the first time, and then number two, went to children's houses and played Nerf Wars.
Those are all true statements.
So I just want to know, are you okay?
Oh my God, I hadn't thought about it till this moment, you guys.
Are you kind of having a midlife crisis?
Hey, bud, you've been listening to me this whole time, and I have come to you once before. I trust you at this point. Do you think I am having a midlife crisis? Do you seriously think I'm gonna only live to 86? Oh, okay. How long do you think I'm gonna live? Do you want to have a drink afterwards?
Stop! No, but do you think that you're suffering like a tremendous amount of anxiety and like breaking down?
Wait, that's always been every day since I came out of the womb. I have a lot of anxiety. But I think what's happening for me is my son has finally gotten to the age where he can be at home with his daddy and I'm not going to freak out. And I have a little bit more freedom. And so I can go out every once in a while, which I think is healthy because... for a while after I had my baby, I sort of lost my identity. Am I saying it's healthy? Yeah.
I don't leave the house.
You never do. I've asked her to. I one time asked her to go to the Modern Family rap party, which is like pretty cool, right? Nah, not interested.
No
she wasn't
deal.
interested. She
No
was
thanks.
like, "Is it over by 8?" She said.
It was like on a Thursday, which no.
It was a Saturday. Keep
Oh
going.
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But it felt like a Thursday.
But I think that I just feel a little bit of freedom, and I've always been a pretty social. Like I'm an introverted extrovert and a self-loathing narcissist. So I waver back and forth between complete hermit and weirdo that you don't hear from for 2 months, and you might be glad. Who knows? To someone who wants to say yes to everything, right?
Right.
And so right now, I'm since Allison and I started this podcast, it's been a very vulnerable experience for me. I think this is probably the first time in my life I've shared with people that I had sex in a public place. And I've made a concerted effort to really be vulnerable and open up in the last year. And I've had a lot of hard knocks, and I've had some really amazing things happen. So I guess I would say I think I'm all right.
You're being rebirthed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It is. It's good. I would say that. So like I said, I have a 2-year-old, and as she was turning 2, I was just starting to feel like, okay, I'm starting to get my groove back. I'm, feeling like I can go out a little bit more, and then I got pregnant again.
I told you not to.
I know. So figure it's going to be 2 more years till I feel normal again.
Till my life is like better.
And then who knows if I'll have another one, Dana?
I know.
You just don't know.
I give you such a hard time, but I'm really excited.
Who's to say? It's only if I get rich. So we want to switch over to this part of our show called Absolute Yours. These are your crazy, insane. If you are confused about what's happening here tonight, we have a podcast.
Yeah,
it's called Absolute Worst Podcast
show.
It's been listed in the new and noteworthy section on iTunes for months now. You can find out more about it and listen to our trailer at absoluteworstpodcast.com. You can always send us questions and stories at absoluteworstpodcast@gmail.com, or you can reach us through our website by just clicking on the contact section there. We've had a lot of amazing guests. We have a lot of amazing content, and like I said, we legitimately feel like we're helping people because they rate us back and say that we have.
I'm
just going to go with what they say.
Yeah.
So we're going to tell a story. We're going to start with our friend, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Armstrong. Welcome, Nick.
Hello.
Hi. Hey, remember before the show when I threw a fit and said, I need a stool to put my water on, and then how I walked out on stage without the water?
Smart.
Well, it's your elbow's doing nice.
Thanks, Nick.
Dana, you can have some of my water.
I don't share mouths.
So Nick, thank you for being here. Nick is the artistic director of the theater that you're sitting in. So thank you for that.
Also a very, very funny improviser.
Yes. Also an OG listener, which
Yes,
we always love. Some of our listeners have been with us since the very beginning. So
we're almost at 2 years now?
it's hard to say.
None of you care.
No, that's not true.
I don't think they do.
Yeah. Stop, Dana. She's so aggro.
I'm really good.
What was I going to say? Oh, so if you listen to our show, know that this is a little teaser because Nick's going to be an actual guest on our show. But
Wait, he is?
Yeah, I just decided.
Yeah.
We talked about it
Did
backstage.
you guys know this? She doesn't tell me. First of all, she doesn't let me read the emails for our show. I created this show.
Yeah, not anymore.
Okay.
So Nick's going to start today by telling us a story.
Yes, can I preempt it with saying I went to Allison and said, I can tell a poopy one for Dana or a prison story. And she's like, prison story.
Prison. Give me some prison.
So this is my absolute yours. So my brother is in federal prison.
Wow.
He's older than me. I think he's 45.
That's super young.
Yeah, super young. Older than me. Haven't talked to him in years.
Wow.
This was years back. He's been in and out. This was like maybe the second time he was in prison.
Are you going to tell us why he's there?
You don't have to. You don't have to.
I think you can.
He's a spoke in a wheel of drug selling, like organized crime.
Okay.
But not like gangsta or
Not like the organized.
like drug dealer organized crime.
Like
Is he a drug addict?
Hillbilly?
He did drugs. I'm not too clear because I don't know, but he sold more than.
Okay.
Not hillbilly.
Were you
He doesn't
close?
make his drugs in the
No,
bathroom.
I
Were
don't
you
think
close
so.
growing up?
No.
Never close.
No, never close.
But
Because he was
see-
always in trouble.
Always.
He had 3 DUIs before he was 18.
Oh,
How much
that's so
older?
cute.
It is like me. I only had one though.
Yeah.
Not that that's better or worse. Everybody, it's totally fine.
So I took a different route, comedy.
You did
Yeah.
comedy, yeah.
But yeah, so he's been we've always been distant just because of that stuff. So he was in prison and he was finally somewhere near me, and my parents were like, "Can you just go see?"
This is amazing. Do you only have one sibling?
I only have one sibling.
And how much older than you is he?
He is would be 5 years. I'm 40, so he'd be 5 years.
I can't even deal with this. I have so many questions. Keep going. I'll save it for when you're on the
Okay,
show.
great.
But I have a lot of questions.
Great. So my parents were like, "Can you just go check on him?" And I was like, "Okay, fine." It's like 4 hours north. This actually involves you a little bit,
Yes.
in a weird way.
Because you dream about me at night?
Because I dream
know.
about you. So I was like, okay, it's like in San Luis Obispo area, like north
Ooh,
of
pretty.
here. Yeah, for a prison. So very, very nice views up there,
Yeah.
I'm sure, through the bars. And so I drive up there. My friend was very kind. He's like, "I'll go with you."
Oh,
Look,
that's
first
sweet.
of all, getting into prison
Not easy.
to visit is
Yeah.
just as hard as I think getting
Yeah.
into prison. I had fingerprinted, I had to get a background check, I had
Yeah.
to do all this stuff, and then you have to like wait forever and drive into a certain place. Anyways, it was a process.
Yeah.
And I get in there, and then I'm sitting in a picnic, very low prison area. It's not like high, whatever they call
Security.
it. High security. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm sitting in a picnic bench and waiting forever. Finally, he comes out, he starts talking to me and stuff like that. And granted, I'm like 4 hours north of Los Angeles, and I'm an actor. I do some television and stuff like that, but I'm never someone that is seen, or like, I call myself a blinking actor, where if you blink, you've missed me.
That's
on
not
television.
true. You've done great stuff. You guys, let's have a round of applause for Nick Armstrong and his career.
Thank you. But so I'm sitting in this prison, and my brother's talking to me, and this woman comes up to me and she goes, "Hey, were you on a show at I.O. last
Shut
weekend?"
up! Shut
I
up!
never have been recognized for anything.
It's improv.
Let alone improv. I've been on like some really fun TV shows.
Yeah.
And she goes, "I saw a show, God Squad, last weekend," which I did with
show.
Dana. Did with Dana. And she goes like, "It was the first ever improv show I've ever seen, and you were great."
Wait a second. Was she an inmate?
No.
They don't have a waitress for improv shows in LA.
And she goes, "It's the first," and it was just last weekend. And she goes, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "Well, this is my brother."
Oh, no.
Wait, why was she there? She's like,
Well,
this is my boyfriend.
Yeah, no, she goes, "This is my brother."
No.
Big ass dude, bald with a teardrop.
No.
I swear to God. And
Now,
I'm
what
like,
is
"I just killed my
teardrop?
brother.
Is
I
it-
just killed my brother."
Wait, how? Because
Okay, he was gonna kill
I
her.
was like, now they know each other. I
Yeah,
don't
but now
know.
maybe
But
they're
now they're
besties.
besties.
They could have been.
Yeah.
I was pretty much wrapping it up at that point.
Yeah.
Listen, what does the tear mean? Is tear people that die?
I thought that's what it means.
I thought it was you killed somebody.
You killed somebody.
I watched a lot of Gangland, and it said, "Hey, bud,
Is that what a tear is?
is that what a tear is?" Yeah.
But it was
I
low.
mean,
It
shrugged, but
was
I'll
minimum
take it.
security, so I felt like maybe he's going to be okay. And my brother doesn't understand what I do for a living.
No.
Yeah.
So he's like, "How did she see you?" And I was like, "Okay, well, it was really nice to see you."
You didn't do a one-man improv show?
Yeah, then we had a suggestion. We did a duo. It was really
Oh
great.
my God.
Really
And now
funny.
you run the prison
Yeah,
improv.
now I'm the artistic director of the Lompoc.
I don't know, you don't understand. First of all, I don't want to disparage jail people, number one, or prison people, because they're my
Jail people?
And number 2,
Sure.
I don't know, fun fact about Allison Royers. You know that I have jail clearance in the Los Angeles area so that I can go into prisons and talk to people about the horrors of alcoholism. And I'll tell you what, they would love a fucking improv class. So I'm signing you up!
All right.
I'll teach it with you.
All right.
There you
Well, we've
go.
all seen God Squad, I think.
Everyone's seen our improv show.
Our one improv show from like 10 years.
This is amazing. Wait, Nick, is that your story?
That's my story.
Nick Armstrong!
Thank you.
So I was hoping... Are you excited to have him on the show?
Who, Nick?
Yeah.
We can talk about it later.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, of course.
So I was hoping that we would have time. So Dana's right. I never tell her anything that I'm going to do because...
Wait, what's happening?
Yeah, I'm going to do...
Oh no, what's
Okay.
happening?
So I never tell her anything that I'm going to do because for a while she was reading. We have a group email and group social media. It's very annoying. It's like a marriage. And so we would be recording on the weekends and I'd be reading an email and she'd be like, oh, you already did this one. No, bitch, you fucking read an email.
I just
and
read
now
it.
you're confusing yourself because you're
Because I'm what?
beautiful.
Thank you.
And so I started banning her from emails. So
Yeah.
I also like to go rogue. So this poor man that you've been pointing to the whole show, this is my friend Omar.
Oh my God, dude, I'm sorry.
And he's gonna, I also haven't told Omar, but he's gonna come tell a story right now.
Oh my God, Omar. Wait, you're from Missouri?
That's right.
Best friends.
Yeah!
He does not want to talk to me.
I didn't tell him.
Yeah.
I didn't even tell Omar
You didn't
that.
tell him?
I didn't tell him that he was gonna tell a story.
Oh, I'm
But
sorry.
he's a very funny stand-up and storyteller. So hi, Omar.
Hi, Omar. Can
Hi.
you believe I chose you to pick on? And look at us now.
I feel
Somebody take a picture?
Nobody's
Nope,
gonna take
nobody
it.
wants to take it.
Okay.
From
Welcome.
Missouri, by the way.
I knew that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Good.
I'm a listener.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and you're my favorite.
What? Omar.
Thank you, Omar.
I just work with Alice.
Yeah, I
That's
get it. So do I.
So you're gonna tell a story.
Yeah, do you care what story?
Well, remember the mosque story? Is that too long or too old or wherever? That's the story that I know and love. But do you?
I trust you with any story. Obviously, I was drawn to your table.
Thanks so much. I don't know if I can do the moth story.
Why?
Because I think the moth just released it.
Oh, interesting. Real impressive.
I know. All right, Omar. Other story. Go.
This is who you are as a human.
I know.
You're so bossy.
All right.
All right, go.
Like I like a Pakistani family. Like it's big. Like there's a lot of us, and every year we do Thanksgiving in Pennsylvania. And one year it was like 2002. We were all in North Wales, Pennsylvania, and all the boy cousins were downstairs, and we're all young, so we're listening to rap music.
How young were you? Like, are you considering your current age young?
Yeah, no, way younger.
Okay.
I'm talking like 12 years old.
No, you're kidding.
Yeah.
This story's from when you were 12 years old.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay, so we're listening to rap music, and we're listening to DMX, because we're big DMX guys.
Sure you are.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah,
just quickly sing a DMX song that we
Oh,
would
I'm
know?
about to.
Oh.
So we were listening to DMX in the basement, and we're listening to a song called "Bring Your Whole Crew." We're all like 12,
Okay.
and the opening lyric to that song is, "I got blood on my hands, and there's no remorse. I got blood on my dick, cause I fucked a corpse."
Stop! Stop!
And we were like, "Holy!" We didn't know that was an option. Like it was. Have you ever heard something so raw? You were like, "All right, we gotta turn this off and be kids again."
Yeah, that's how I feel about Allison 84% of the time.
But that's legit where we're at. We're like, "All right, let's turn off the music, let's go to sleep." And as I woke up in the morning, I felt so much guilt from just listening to the line. I was like, "Hey, Dad, could you just like make us pancakes or something? Just something normal for us?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." But we're at my uncle Nazir's house, and Nazir's a psychopath.
Sure.
So Nazir was like, "No, you're not gonna have pancakes. We're Pakistanis. All right, we're not.
You're not allowed to eat pancakes?
Yeah, we're not Americans. We're not gonna eat pancakes."
Oh.
Like he's like, like he's like really Pakistani.
Okay. So like they don't know about this music yet. You're just feeling inherent guilt, and you think it's going to be whisked away by a pancake.
Because you're Pakistani light.
It's just nice. A pancake is nice. It's comfort food, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I just felt like
But your uncle was
DMX
like,
doesn't eat pancakes.
Right. That
okay.
makes
But
sense.
your uncle's like, no fucking deal.
You don't fuck a corpse and then eat pancakes after.
But I don't know. But you didn't know about.
Yes. Yeah, they don't know. They
He
don't know.
didn't know about this stuff.
Okay.
But he's just independently angry about the appearance of pancakes.
Of white shit.
Anything
he
white.
hates whitey.
All white
He's
people.
like Malcolm X level. I don't fuck
Oh,
with
okay.
All right, so my dad though, he's a nice guy. So he's a nice guy. Yeah, that's my father. He's a pretty good guy. No, anyways, my dad goes into the master bedroom and plugs in a griddle and makes us pancakes anyway.
Like secret pancakes.
Yeah.
Secret pancakes.
But we had to get away with it, so he put it in like the non-container and brought it to the table. So the kids are eating pancakes, we're having a blast.
Okay.
But my uncle doesn't know.
Right.
He's never seen a pancake. So he reaches,
Wait, he doesn't even know what it is, but he knows he hates it.
he knows it's American.
Right.
He's not
Okay.
going to IHOP.
Right. No.
Yeah. So he takes a pancake out
Yeah.
and starts dipping it in nahari, which is like a curry.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And then he looks at my dad and he's like, this is the best naan.
Oh my god.
And now I'm losing my shit. I'm thrilled. I can't handle this. So then I start egging him on. And I was like, oh yeah, you know how that naan tastes good with maple syrup. Yo, and so now this motherfucker's eating pancakes just regular. He's not, there's no Pakistani spin on this. And then I like give in and I'm just like, all right, those were pancakes.
What happened?
He was like, get out of my house.
No!
This is November.
No!
And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I won't. And he was like, get out of my house. So he kicks me outside of the house.
Oh my god, for pancakes.
And my cousins must have come to my defense.
Uh-huh.
Because fully, they started getting kicked out of the house.
Oh my god.
And then we're rolling literally 30 deep in the front yard in Northwest Pennsylvania. No, none of us can drive. We're
Because you're 12.
Exactly. And so, but here's the thing. We were all wearing pajamas still. But like we were in Pakistani pajamas. We weren't wearing like regular pajamas.
I don't know what Pakistani pajamas
Okay,
are.
do you remember Osama bin Laden's outfit?
I do.
Those are Pakistani pajamas.
Okay.
Alright, so I don't know what the fuck happened. So our next door neighbor must have been like call the police or something. These were like I think there's some sort of Taliban meeting going on in the front yard at my neighbor's house because soon like 2 squad cars show up. And the cop gets out of the squad car and I'm like, oh fuck, we're in trouble now because the cop, you know when cops get flustered? Like,
Yeah.
because this is North Wales, Pennsylvania. They haven't done national security training. So this
I don't know how to handle you.
what to do. He's like, I've seen Homeland. He pulls out a gun. He doesn't know, right? So he jumps out, and now we're like, oh fuck, we're in deep trouble right now. And my uncle, who led protests in Pakistan, like he overthrew like the Indian government in Pakistan. So this guy is militant. He hates authority. He
This
sees
is the pancake hater?
pancake hater.
Gotcha.
He sees the cops come, and he jumps.
He's like,
runs
not
out of the house.
today.
And he
If
goes up.
only I kick these children out into the cold.
Exactly.
Those cops better not touch them.
Yeah, he got protective all of a sudden. When in reality, the cop would be justified in arresting him for
Totally.
So my uncle runs out, and the cop is freaking the fuck out. And the cop reaches back to like his holster.
Yeah.
And then my cousin Musaddiq, who was there with us, steps out right in between the cop and his dad.
And how old is he?
He's 14 years old.
Okay.
He's fucking livid, okay? My uncle. And he looks the cop directly in the eye and says,
Oh no.
I got blood on my hands.
No,
I got blood on my dick because I fucked a corpse. And you have never seen elderly Pakistani people be as agile and mobile as this when he rushed over and started beating the shit out of my cousin. And my cousin, it was so overwhelming that the cop was like, okay guys, break it up. Enjoy, he said, I'll never forget, he said, enjoy your meeting, and left. And that Thanksgiving to this day, you can't talk about it in Qureshi.
absolute York.
Oh my god.
But like so fun.
So
Right? I enjoyed
it
that
really
journey.
sounds, if there's one place I want to spend this holiday, it's with your family. 100%.
Oh, we stopped doing it in Pennsylvania right after that, and now it's at my house in Missouri.
Shut up.
Yeah, that's serious.
Dana can go. Are you going
Oh
home?
my god, I
What part
should
of Missouri are you from?
Springfield.
I live in Springfield. Stop.
What? Right now?
Right now, well, I live in LA right now, but when Springfield.
Are you-
Other Missouri people here. I'll introduce
Raise your
you.
hand if you're from
Raise your hand if
Missouri.
you're from Missouri.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Raise your hand if you have alcoholism. Woo!
Okay. Wait, also, raise your hand if you've spent time in Springfield, Missouri. Hey,
These are our people.
these are our people.
Omar, you're a true delight.
You're a joy. I completely understand now why I was so drawn to you.
Yeah.
And also the offer's still on the table for a drink. I'm just...
Oh, for sure.
Okay, cool. What do you want to name our podcast?
You guys! Omar, put the mic down! Thank you.
I do love when you surprise me, but it freaks me out.
Yeah, I mean, on this one, I also surprised Omar. I never told him he was going to do
But I
it.
don't think that counts as a surprise. I think it counts as you bullying people into doing things they didn't know they were going to do. Surprise!
Do you think we need a Neva's Corner?
Oh, maybe. Real
So
quick.
sometimes Dana has a grandma who is just nice. I mean, Dana always feels bad that her grandma may understand one day what a computer is.
So
Somehow
my grandma's
find-
very tech savvy. She's on Facebook and stuff, which is why I can't post our shit on Facebook because your mouth is foul.
But she's always afraid that her grandma is going to find our podcast and be very upset.
Yes.
So we've added a part to the end of our show where we just apologize to her grandma in case she ever finds it.
Yeah.
There's an intro.
Yeah.
It goes like this.
Neva's Corner. Hi, Grandmama.
Hey, Grandma.
I just want to apologize real quick for, picking on people in the audience,
Yeah.
talking about sex a lot,
In
And-
public places.
and getting a tattoo.
Yes, that's the
So
big one.
sorry.
We are, and we want to apologize for those rap lyrics. We didn't write them.
No.
They were just part of a story, and we're sorry if they offended you. We would never fuck a corpse. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely.
That's all.
Okay.
So we love you.
Love you, Grandma. Neva's Corner.
You guys, this has been the Absolute Worst Podcast. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you guys
with
so
us.
much for being here.
Thank you.
I love you. Oh my god, this is special. You never told me you love me first.
I just wanted to indicate that the show was over.
I got it. Allison.
What?
I love you.
Bye!